So while we got the carbs off, we should go through and let's see if we can lube up the throttle cables and the choke cable because they're moving really slowly. So I'm gonna undo the throttle from the controls up here, and then there are 2 screws I'm gonna undo. And we can also check to see if there's any cracks or anything in here. All right, so we have a screw in the back, screw in the front, screw in the front, it's a little bit longer. And there's one more screw that I missed. All right, so we should be able to separate this control. That will allow us to remove both of these throttle cables, and then the handle should just slide off. It's just a little caught. Oh, actually, I need to remove this bar end right here, and I'll be able to take the whole throttle off. Not a 6, that's a 5. These bar ends just protect your grips if the bike were to go down. All right, we can do some cleanup, make sure that this slides well. All right, so at least the bar under here is in good shape. Then I'm gonna pull this down and around. And that will just make it easier to pull these out. And when I separate, I can unscrew it from here. All right, just like that. Yeah, these are pretty grimy. These do not slide very well. All right, so I have some chain and cable lube. I don't have much left, but I'm gonna spray this down in there. And then I'm gonna move this cable back and forth. See if I can work some of it down. All right, so this is already moving much better. So let's do it to the other one. This one. This one's not great at all. Okay, and let's do the same thing. All right, so that's definitely better. I have one more contraption I can try and use. It's supposed to help with lubricating. So what you do is you wrap it over your cable here, and then you screw it down, and it's supposed to force all the liquid down through the rest of your cable. And then this has a spot right here. Just do it like that. And then we'll do the same thing to the other one. And then we'll try the same thing over here. Try and create a seal at the bottom. So on this side, we also have clutch cable that feels tight. And then we've got the choke, which feels the same way. Okay, it looks like for the choke, it is an 8mm for the nut at the bottom. Let's see if that freed up. One at the top. It did. So the choke, same kind of cable. And I'll probably want to lubricate all of this up here because this is really difficult to turn. This does feel better, but we'll still try and lubricate it the best we can, okay? And then I'll take WD-40. Let's see if this helps with any of it. All right, that's feeling better. So let's put this back in. But I think it's sitting in the right spot. It's moving much better now. But I don't know. I think the metal underneath this is rubbing up against. I think this whole thing is bent. So let's actually unscrew that. See if we can get it so it's not scraping up against like that. All right, let's see this piece. It does look like this piece is bent a bit. So I'm going to try bending this back down. All right, so it looks a little better now. Great. So that moves now. Very little noise. Perfect. That works. And now on to the clutch. Okay, we'll loosen this. And then I'm going to loosen the clutch down below here. So clutch is down here, so when I pull it in, you can see it's lifting right there. And let's undo these. Okay, these are 12. All right, these are not moving well at all. Let's spray them down a little bit with WD-40. Yeah, it does look like this nut is not moving. All right, it's moving much better now. And I see some red stuff under it, which looks like it's thread locker. So that would make sense why it was difficult to get it off. And there should not be thread locker on these. Looks like it's coming off a little bit. All right, so I was able to loosen the top clutch cable. All right, there we go, painful. Here's clutch cable. Let's do the same thing with this one. All right, let's see how we did. All right, still not the smoothest. Let's try it one more time. Okay, I'll go spray a little bit at the bottom of this cable. All right, so that's done. I'm going to reattach it and see how it feels. All right, the clutch cable is back together. It's still a little tough, but it feels better than it did. Choke. And then I'll have to reconnect the throttle cables. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. If you want to get notifications when I release new videos, feel free to hit subscribe. Take care.